Yeah.
This court enters judgment in the name of the people of the Republic of Guatemala. The court regards the following facts to have been proven. 1. That the accused Jose Efrain Rios Montt, in his capacity as the President of the Military Government Council, President of the Republic of Guatemala, Minister of National Defense, and Commander-in-Chief of the Army, offices that he held from the 23rd of March 1982 to the 8th of August 1983, continued and reinforced the counterinsurgency policy within which the Mayan groups were targeted as an internal enemy. 2. Beginning on March 23, 1982, he ordered the development and implementation of the Victoria 82 and Firmeza 83 military plans, which established the elimination of subversive elements classified as part of the internal enemy, which according to the military doctrine set forth in the Counterinsurgency War Manual were regarded as internal enemies, including those individuals, groups or organisations that without being communist try to overthrow the existing social order. The members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group were included among them, even though they were non-combatant civilian population. 3. That the accused Jose Efrain Rios Montt used the apparatus of the state to define the Maya Ixchil ethnic group as an internal enemy, even though it was a non-combatant civilian population. In this framework, the actions of the accused, which were inherent to his power of command over the army, as well as the military operations conducted of his orders, and his duty of supervision and control, were all aimed at the elimination of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group.
The task force and the Guatemalan Air Force, as well as the military commissioners and members of the civil defense, self-defense patrols, all under his command, carried out at least the following acts against the members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group, due to the fact that they were regarded as internal enemies in light of their cultural and historical ancestry. 1. Selective executions in which members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group were killed, either individually or collectively. 2. Selective and indiscriminate massacres perpetrated against members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. 3. Destruction and burning of the villages of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. 4. Bombardment of the communities of area where the members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group who had been forced to flee had sought refuge, including sacred places. 5. Raping, either individually or collectively, of women who belong to the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. 6. Questioning under torture of captured members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. 7. Concentration of the members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group in assistance camps for refugees and displaced and amnestied persons in order to subject them to the process of assimilation into the Spanish-speaking culture and to convert them to the dominant national culture, which meant forcing them to adopt the Spanish language, suppressing their distinctive traditional costume or other external signs of group differentiation, making it possible that after redefining those external signs, they would cease to think as such. 8. Looting of property, burning of houses and crops, killing and theft of animals, as well as of elements of the Maya Ixchil material culture. 9. Persecution of members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group during their forced displacement. 10. Search and siege operations aimed at identifying refuge areas in order to capture and or execute members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. 11. Control and siege of displaced communities, preventing access to food and medicine that were essential for the survival of the members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. And 12. Subjection of children, women and men who belong to the Maya Ixchil ethnic group to servitude and forced labour. And finally 13. Forced disappearances.
The court states that the accused, Jose Efrain Rios Montt, institutionalised the Army's racist and discriminatory worldview against the Mayan population, and especially against members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group, which meant that external expressions such as traditional costume and the language became a real threat to life, integrity and survival of members of the Maya Ixchil ethnic group. Those who survived acts of torture were forced to perform tasks in the civil self-defence patrols, and while they were within these organisations, they were forced to inform on others, to inflict punishment, and to kill members of their own ethnic group. The cases of massive, indiscriminate, and public rape, documented by the Commission for Historical Clarification, exceeded 1,465 cases, for the most part perpetrated against the Maya Shil ethnic group, and 88% of cases, and a third of the cases involving minors. This was a common practice after the settlement of military installations and civil self-defence patrols. These events were also accompanied by the killing of pregnant women and the destruction of fetuses. There was a displacement of a total of at least 54 communities of the Maya Shil ethnic group, which were forced to survive in subhuman conditions that would have caused the total or partial physical destruction of their members as a result of the acts carried out by the Army of Guatemala. The military operations, in addition to killing the members of the group selectively and or massively, during the time when the accused Jose Efrain Rios Montt held the aforesaid offices, inflicted damages to the physical and mental integrity of the Maya Shil ethnic group, individually and collectively, the effects of which are still visible. At the collective psychosocial level, the social fabric was torn. It has been established that within this framework, among the consequences for the group, there was a breakdown of relationships of trust, creation of communication voids, for which the oral transmission is of paramount importance to the Ixil group. The silence and mistrust that in turn have caused the social isolation of families and communities and return from their displacement due to stigmatisation. It has been established that the members of the group suffered psychological damage on an individual level